Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're so happy to have you guys today. And Julie's going to be with you guys in a few minutes, but we're going to wait until a few more people join. But if you could all turn your cameras on, that would be great. But keep yourselves muted, please.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Thursday, all about real estate investing, utilizing our DealDriven software. Hey, guys, as you're popping on, throw those cameras on. Believe it or not, it makes it so much easier for me because then I don't feel like I'm just like talking to a blank screen. So we'll get started here in just a minute. If you would, again, turn those cameras on, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Love it. Love it. So what do we do on Thursdays? So it is all about utilizing our DealDriven software to find your next real estate deal. So what I love to do on these Thursdays is get it to a point to where you guys are asking me questions. I'll help you find the best leads in your area. So if you've got questions about wholesale deals, fix and flip, subject to, sandwich lease options, rentals, owner finance. I've done a little bit of everything. I don't know that I have all the answers for you, but I can at least probably point you in the right direction. So we're going to show you how to utilize our software to get you to a point to where you're working on your next deal. And really, the way that I love to start this is to take one of you and start. And let's look at your area and kind of what I would be pulling, what type of list, what type of information I'd be pulling in your area. So all I need you to do is raise that Zoom hand and I will bring you on live. All right. We got Sherry. If you will, just unmute yourself, Sherry.
Hi. How
are you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Good.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad you're here with us. So
I am in Phoenix over in the East Valley.
Okay.
So do you want a zip code?
I do, but question, so I kind of know which way to take that. What type of investing do you mostly focus on?
I am brand new and I've been kind of stuck. I'm not sure what to put in the search filters. I went through all the training, but I haven't done a deal yet.
Gotcha. Okay. So do you happen to be a partner at DealDriven?
Yes, I'm a partner.
Okay. So we're going to be focused on wholesale and fix and flips.
Yep.
Not necessarily everybody on this call is a partner. I guess that's kind of what I was getting at. But I would love to do that. So you're in Phoenix, Arizona, correct?
Yes, I am. I'm in Phoenix.
Okay, awesome. So what I would do is from this very point, I would always start at your home screen here. When you're on your home screen, you have the ability to look at lots of different things at one time. So what I would start with is property leads utilizing a search filter. Okay, so from here, you're going to enter either a county, right, a zip code, or a city so that we can get the parameters, okay?
Yep.
One cool way to do this is actually doing it by county. That way you can separate your list by county. What's the county there that you're looking to do?
It's Maricopa. It's pretty large. Maricopa.
Maricopa, Arizona. So we're going to just do everything in Maricopa County as best as we possibly can. All right. Next, we want to go to what we like to call lead stacking on what we're first going to be looking at. So for you, one big thing right now is buying pre-foreclosures and buying them before they lose it back to the bank.
Correct.
So we're going to check a couple of these different things. The good thing is you'll notice there are these easy buttons for some lists so that all you got to do is push that button, right? So I want to go first with notice of defaults with no auction date. We've got one. Let's look at single family pre-foreclosures 30 plus days away. The reason why I want to look at that, so these are everybody that's been served the notice of default and or list pendants, but the auction has not been set yet, which is a good thing because you have a little bit more time to work with them. And generally, if there's equity in the home, they'll walk away with a little bit more equity. So if I'm working pre-foreclosures, I'm starting with that list first. Okay.
Right, exactly.
So I've got that. Your filters are already in here, that the auction date is after March the 11th. I'm going to add a few more things though. I want to be looking for townhomes on top of single family homes, duplex, triplex, quads. We just don't want to miss anything. And equity. So everybody, equity is the difference between what somebody owes in their mortgage and what the property is actually worth. So what she's looking to do is actually buy a property, renovate it and resell it, or buy it and sell it as is. Every bit of money that she makes in a deal because she's flipping the house is going to come out of the equity. So I would put an equity filter on your leads of at least 40% or more. So that took that from about 28 to about 32 to 28. Okay. I would leave this like it is. This is going to be the hottest list right now. You should be working, Cherie.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Well, yeah, let's keep going. So we've got all these properties. I now want you to build a list. So you're going to select all of these properties, add selected to a list. You're going to create a new list name, and we're going to call this Pre-4s Maricopa County. Okay. And I'm going to press confirm. I want everybody to notice something. Cherie, do you see where it says exclude properties that have already been added?
Correct. I see that.
On this first list you pull, don't push that, because you've got to start your list. Now, next month, probably about the 10th of the month, I would go, what I would do is I would go and pull this again to get even more new properties. Okay.
So in 1 month?
Yep. Every month you're going to get new pre-foreclosures.
Okay.
So if you've got a list that says Maricopa County pre-foreclosures, then you'll want to exclude the ones you've already got. That way you're only seeing the new ones every month. Or they're always.
And then if I make a new list after this, then I would exclude properties that are already in my list, correct? That way I'm not double contacting within that month.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So right here, you're going to select them all. And because you're a partner, you have a button that says free skips. You're going to select all and press free skips. You're not seeing it on my screen because I'm not in a partner driven account. Okay.
Yeah, I think I see it on my screen though. Okay.
Yeah. And you'll want to wait 24 to 48 hours to get those back. Now, for everybody else, all you're doing is you could select them all and say owner, email, phone lookup. And that's going to consume 1/3 of a credit. So what it's doing is it's going and finding this information for this property list, like their phone numbers and their emails. It is only going to charge you for ones that actually come up with their phone numbers. Okay, so let's take a look at this first one right here. So all of our information derives from the local tax records. Okay, so like this person, I can tell that Ryan owns this property in Maricopa County. However, he lives in San Diego, right? So he has a property that he does not live in another state that is up for auction. This is a great lead to work. So I've already skipped this. So here's their phone numbers and the email addresses. You can get all that from there, but I want to search a couple more things about this property from this information. So one nice thing is this valuation confidence score. So that's going to give you a percentage rate on how confident that we are or that the National Title Service is about the actual what this property is worth. So it's telling you that it's about 98% positive this property is worth about $452,000. Okay. 1,100 square foot. And what's sad is probably it looks like they owe 178,000. They have 300 grand almost in equity, and it's up for auction. If this home goes to the auction, they're going to lose almost all of this equity. And also they're going to owe a lot more than 178 because they've been served that notice of default. This attorney right here is literally charging every day, every month. The bank is interest charges, attorney's fees. So they quickly eat up all the equity. So the sooner that you contact them from the date of default and or list pendants, depending on the state, the better off the seller is going to be. And it's also going to give you more of a chance to get all your due diligence done.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's
is there an ad you would suggest? Because I know there's a lot of different templates. So if I was targeting someone that had just gotten served with pre-foreclosure, which ad would you say would be best to target?
ad, like you're wanting to send them a mailer.
Yeah, or if I was gonna put an ad up on a billboard.
Gotcha. So really, if you're putting an ad on a billboard, you'd want to do something like maybe avoid foreclosure, like, you know, Cherie buys houses, something like that. If you're going directly to these, I would tell you to cold call them, right? And
Yep.
also to send them a letter. Now, here's a pro tip. It takes time, but it really works. It's actually sending a letter with a handwritten envelope. I know that sounds nuts, but people actually open pieces of mail whenever the envelope's handwritten. And I will say it's a great job for a teenager to do.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
What about for the business cards? I've kind of been stuck on that. Like I listen to everything that was on the training, but then I'm not sure if I could put on it Cherie buys houses, or does it just need to be super, does it matter what it says on there?
Oh, you should definitely be marketing yourself, Cherie, nobody else. So
Okay.
let's say your business name, right, or your DBA is Sunshine Properties. Then it would be, you'd be marketing Sunshine Properties. I like using my name just because I don't like going out in the marketplace like I'm some big, huge company, right? When I'm buying a house, I'm buying it with, you know, Julie's buying it.
Okay.
But you want to build your
that's a little
own
bit more
presence.
personal.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I mean, people, I mean, this is their biggest asset, you know, and they want to work with somebody that they feel like they can trust and know. There's many different ways that you do that, but definitely be building your market presence.
Right. Yep. And so that's where I need to be right now. So thanks so much for answering my question. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Look forward to working with you.
I can't wait to do deals together.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Thurman. Unmute yourself, honey.
Okay, I say, how are you?
Better than I deserve. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I'm just going to take a second to say this. You are the greatest. Okay.
Oh, you're sweet.
For the past year, I've learned more from you in 2 months than I learned all of last year. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now I have a property that I want to work on.
Okay.
But you want an address?
Yep. Give me 1 second so everybody can follow along. What's the address?
160 River Walk Parkway. It's in Covington, Georgia.
Would it happen to be in Uralee, Georgia?
It could be. It could be part of that.
Okay, yeah. So it's saying Uralee, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Which I've never actually heard of.
Okay.
160. It's 160.
Yes. 'Cause I have it in my phone as well.
And DealDriven.
Yes,
160 River Walk Parkway.
correct. Riverwalk Parkway, Covington, Georgia, 30014.
Trying to figure out why I'm not finding this. Oh, Riverwalk Farm Parkway.
Oh, yeah, they did. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm like, we had to be detectives for a minute.
Yeah,
Okay, Riverwalk Farm Parkway, Covington. Okay,
okay. Yeah, now that's better.
all right, here we go. All right, what you got on this one?
The seller is asking for $390. And
Okay,
she also told me that they had converted their attic into two bedrooms, and they added another bedroom in the basement. So it's 7 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms.
okay,
Yeah, and it's 3,900 square feet.
gotcha. All right. So does that property need any work?
She said that very minor. She said the work that needs to be done should not be over 20,000.
Okay, so I pulled this up on Zillow, right?
Yeah,
So you're calling it for sale by owner.
yes.
What's your goal here?
Well, basically, I was going to wholesale it.
Okay, you were going to wholesale it. Okay.
Right.
All right. So if you were to wholesale this, you're going to have a hard time wholesaling this and leaving enough room for your back end buyer to make any money.
Right.
However, if you did a subject to contract, you could assign a subject. You can actually wholesale subject twos. So this would be a better for me that you're looking for more of a buy and hold buyer here,
Okay.
because this property at most is worth maybe 420, maybe 450.
Right.
So if I were to turn around and sell it with a real estate agent, that's 45,000 right off the top. So there's not enough room to do the repairs. You know what I mean?
Okay. Right.
It's a beautiful home. I mean, they don't really need any work except for
Right.
maybe this ugly blue they got going on.
Yeah.
And fixing this pool right here.
Right.
That needs to be taken care of. So I would say on this, based off of wholesaling it, thinking that the ARV, the after repair value is 450, there's not enough money in the deal to wholesale it
Okay.
to a cash buyer.
Okay.
But I want you to think another way. If you understood how to put subject to contracts together, you can also assign your sub to contracts to an end buyer that's going to buy it long term.
Okay.
So that'd be taking over the mortgage payments.
Oh, okay. So where do I find a sub to contract? Because I don't have one.
Yeah, I mean, that is what I would do is, I mean, obviously I have them, but you would want to probably Google subject to, and that's TO,
Okay.
purchase contracts that I can assign in Georgia,
Okay.
right? Because it's going to be different state by state.
Oh, okay. So,
Or you could negotiate this property down.
okay.
Okay. So I'm going to pull out my calculator here for just a little bit, because I don't want to just tell you something. I want to show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
All right. So generally, like I don't want you to look at yourself as a wholesaler right now. I want you to look at yourself as somebody that would buy this property, fix it, and resell it. Okay.
Okay.
So with it being 7 bedrooms, maybe we could get 460 ARV, and that's after repair value. Okay.
Right.
So once we bought it, we painted everything the same color. The blue is really not that bad. Okay. But this pool, a back end buyer could never buy this with a pool like this. Meaning somebody with an FHA or a VA or a conventional loan, the bank wouldn't loan on this. So this pool has to be repaired.
Okay.
I mean, it is a complete liability. I mean, you got a 2-year-old kid and they just fell off in there, you'd be in trouble, right?
Right. Right.
So usually if you're fixing and flipping a house, I would give this a renovation price of about $25,000. And I'll tell you why. This house was built in, I'm gonna see where I seen that at. This house was built. Sorry, I'm sharing my screen. I believe it was in 2003. So anytime I see an age of a house like that, right? Oh, it's built in 2006, right?
Okay.
Well, why does that concern me? That's great. It means you're not going to have a whole lot wrong with it. Okay.
Right.
But every time you've got to think about the life of a roof can be
Right.
15 years, unless they have architectural shingles, which could be 25 to 30, right?
Okay.
So you may have to consider the fact that there needs to be a roof change on this property. Now, you and me are different because, like, for me, if my roof ain't leaking, I ain't changing it.
Right.
I ain't just going to be buying new roofs, just be buying new roofs. But a bank might say, God, you know what? This roof is ending its life. It's at its end of its life. So we're not going to be able to give you the loan unless they put a new roof on it. Something to think about.
Okay.
That pool, I have no clue.
Okay.
Looks to me like it just needs a new liner.
Yes, that's what she said.
Yeah. And I don't know what pumps and all that they've got. So at most 25,000 in repair is kind of where I'm at. Right.
Okay.
If that's if the roof's 15,000.
Okay.
No, I'm going on a tangent here, but I'm going to pull my calculator out again and I'm going to show you if I'm flipping this house, because when you're wholesaling, before you wholesale, you really want to look into the mind of who your buyers are and what they expect. Okay.
Okay.
So generally you're buying at 70 cents on the dollar minus repairs. So I would take 460,000 times 0.70. That is 70% of that minus the 25 in repairs. So your purchase price as somebody that's going to buy, fix, and sell this house is going to be closer to 300.
Okay. All right.
So immediately, like when you're calling it for sale by owner, right off the top, you already know you can't do, if you can't flip it, you can't wholesale it really.
Okay.
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 Now, if you could get under contract for 325, I would definitely give it a try.
Okay.
Now, the only other thing I would do, like I said, is understanding what subject twos are and convincing them to let you buy it sub 2. Then you could turn around and put a tenant in there, put someone lease to own, or wholesale your agreement.
Okay.
But you got to be very, very careful when you're doing like a subject to deal. There's a lot of legal ramifications in there. So you don't want to like know what you're doing and just do those. You can ask Mr. Webb on here. That's what he does. And Webb, he's been doing this for years. I would like for you to give some examples of what are some pitfalls. And listen, I'm just using him whether he told me I could or not, just because I think he's a cool guy. But there are some things you've got to be concerned about when you're going down that investing route, because you can't hurt people's lives by doing it incorrectly.
Okay.
So what are some tricks of the trade, Mr. Webb? Oh, you're on mute.
There we go. Am I in now?
Yep.
Okay, tricks of the trade on subject 2. Some of the legal things you want to look at into is how many liens they might have on that house already. Um, if you're taking over, a good example how I would use it, you're just taking over the loan, but they have a lien for a roof, a lien for a furnace, the lien. If you didn't look into any of that and add it into your equation, it might be a problem when you get ready to put somebody in there and say, wait a minute, oh well, I got to charge you this amount now because that lien is on that house. Or what you don't want to do also is to leave the person that you're taking the house over from. Do not let them stay in the house.
Okay.
I did that. Oh boy. Oh my God. uh, and then there was a fire in the house, and it just went downhill from there. If you let that person
Oh,
stay in that house, and like, okay, if they could not afford, especially if you're looking at it as a pre-foreclosure, if they couldn't afford the $1,200 a month for the mortgage, and now that you're taking it over, and then you think that they still going to pay you amount that you want to make in your spread, they can't afford the 1,200.
exactly.
So you're gonna be don't do that. That's one of the things you want to have them to move out ASAP. I mean, cash for keys.
Okay.
Cash for
Okay.
keys.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah, and that was great. So there's lots of things, but that is like steps above wholesaling. So if you're going to look into that, just make sure you've got everything you need.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Or just do it, man. Just call her up and offer them 300. See what they say.
Okay.
Never going to hit a bat we don't swing, right? Or hit
There
a
you
ball we
go.
don't. Well, we never hit a. I don't know what the analogy is.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, Miss Randell.
Hello, how are you?
Better than good. How are you? I always love seeing those pink glasses.
All right, now I live in Lunenburg. So what I did is I put in an address and then I saw all the pre-foreclosures around and I tried calling some and I find that they either A, don't talk or they're busy or whatever, or they don't really answer. So I tried texting and I don't get a response. So I'm finding that it's probably best to just go out and bang on the door.
Yeah, or send them a letter. It may be the first initial thing you're saying. Would you like me to tell you what I would say to people?
Yeah.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Miss Knight, this is Julie Muse. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, actually, the reason for my call is I received your name from a list that sort of leads me to believe that you need to sell your property.
Okay. Okay. And what list?
Well, actually, I did notice that you are facing foreclosure, and I actually specialize in helping people just like you, Miss Knight, avoid foreclosure at any cost. Whether I help you find a solution or either I buy it from you, is that something maybe we could work together on?
Yeah, I'd like to find out more. Could you come by and explain it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That'd totally be my goal. So if you'll see, then we go into appointment setting and then I go out there.
Yeah.
What a lot of people make a mistake is they go to make the call and they literally say, hello, Miss Knight. This is Julie Muse. I'm a real estate investor and you're in foreclosure and I'm better than
No, I
you
didn't
are
say
and
that.
I can help you.
I didn't say that. I asked
I'm
if they were
joking.
interested in selling. I said I just thought I'd ask if maybe you're interested in selling, thinking,
Well,
since
what
they're
I
in
did is I
foreclosure.
told you about that list.
Yeah,
And
I also use I was also using a local pre-foreclosure list. I work with a local pre-foreclosure list, and I saw your name.
I wouldn't even say that. You
No.
told me the answer I wanted to
Okay.
hear. Because I
Okay.
said, I'm calling you because I've seen your name on a list that leads me to believe that you need to sell your property.
Okay.
99.9% of the time, they'll say, well, what list are you talking about? Now they've asked me a question, so that gives me an intro into, well, I did notice you're in foreclosure status, and I specialize in helping people just like you avoid foreclosure. So it's almost like a dance where I'm leading you, because a lot of people just come out and say you're in foreclosure, and we're
Right.
human. You know what I mean?
Right. I wouldn't want that. Yeah. I've been
No,
there,
I mean
so
it's
I
a
don't want that.
manifestation of pride. So I mean, doing those calls, and unfortunately, in my experience, they gonna start answering that phone about a week before they lose their house.
Okay.
Okay, because if we think about like ourselves and
Mhm.
the way we handle things, and
Right.
this is, I am not better than anybody because I actually like did this. That's why I love this business so much.
Me too.
When something bad happens in your life,
Hmm.
right? Because sometimes, most of the time, you don't just foreclose because you run out of money. You stop paying your bills because somebody died, somebody got sick, you lost your job, you got a divorce. There's always a catalyst event that's very, very emotional.
Hmm.
And human nature for us is to stick our heads in the sand, right?
Yeah.
So what I use is my experience to be like, hey, don't be like me.
Yeah.
Don't wait
Yeah.
till the last minute, because I may
Yeah.
not be able to help you. Like
I wish I
really
had
do.
help. I wish I had help offered. You know,
Oh,
that's what I would
I
say.
wish I did too. I didn't take the help because I was too embarrassed. I didn't want nobody
I
to
was
know.
never offered. Never offered. I had nothing. After 10 years, I walked away with nothing. You know, it was tough.
Yeah,
So, you know,
but
I
no,
have a house now.
that's a great question. That's kind
Yeah.
of how I approach it. Yeah.
And I think just going in as face to face, I think sometimes it kind of breaks it down too, because I don't look scary. I don't look like a big businessman. I'm pretty, you know, I've done customer service all my life and I've always had good experience with it. So people always trusted me. I did, like I said, postal service. So they always trusted me with their mails.
Yeah,
It's like, you know, I have a
absolutely.
trusting thing. They'd be like, oh, thank God you're here today, you know, because I helped them before or whatnot, you know.
Well, and everybody's big and bad over the phone too. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
I think it's better to be face to face, because when I talked to the one lady I already talked to from Lunenburg there, the one I was trying to fix where the house was overgrown and the brother doesn't let him sell. She was a sweet lady and she would have been, you know, she would have been all for it, you know, but they would have done it years before. But he stopped it. He's been stopping it for 15 years. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like I jumped in like way too late, and he just, and they're not going to push him. They're not going to push their brother. So
Mm-mm.
I can't tell somebody to push their brother.
No, you can't tell somebody something anyway.
No. And I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
I only want to be there to help only if you want it. I don't want to push myself. You know, I don't do that. But yeah, all right. So yeah, so that's what I've done. So I've got a bunch of like addresses, and like I say, I'm just gonna go try knocking on it if I feel safe. Because you know, I obviously have to feel safe about it. If I pull in and there's a bunch of dogs or a bunch of people hanging out and I don't feel safe, I'm not getting out. But
Yeah.
I live in a pretty safe area, to be honest with you, and I know the area quite well. So
Mhm.
I'll go check it out. Most they can do is say, "Get off my property now."
Yeah, well, too, really the initial call is to set an appointment, not to get the deal anyway.
To do what? Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. Or even I can just break the ice and just let them know I'm there to help. You know, they don't have to do anything right then and there. Just get it in their head that I'm there to help. You know,
Yep,
some people
exactly.
are just afraid. You know, so that's that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I
that's what
see
I'm
some
doing.
more questions in the chat, right?
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
Marcia said we were looking at a property earlier. Do they have documentation that the bedrooms are legally done? A lot of times, y'all all know we all do work on our properties, and once it's inside, I ain't be trying to tell the county I'm doing stuff. Are y'all like me, or does everybody just do things the right way? So there's a lot of times somebody might finish a basement, might finish a property and not tell you. Here's a legal bathroom or a legal bedroom. Okay, when you're going to an appointment. For it to be considered a legal bedroom, you must have a closet and an exterior window. On top of that, you can't go through another bedroom to get to that bedroom. Okay, because sometimes you'll see like, you ever seen like master bedrooms? It's got like an office off to the side of it, but you got to go through the bedroom to get to the office. That's not a bedroom, right? So a closet and an outdoor window. Now I'll tell you, to turn it into another bedroom, the easiest thing to do is put a closet in. It is not that much money, not that hard to stud out an actual closet, but you've got to have an exterior window to get out for fires or what have you. So in the basements, a lot of times people will put bedrooms in the basement. If it's literally in a basement with no windows, it is not a bedroom. Okay. A bathroom is a lavatory, a sink and a shower. A half bath is a toilet, a lavatory and a sink. Just trying to answer some of these questions. What solutions can we offer a pre-foreclosure person apart from buying their property? So there's two things that you can do. Number one, like you said, you can buy their property straight out, or you could do what's called a subject to, where you're taking over their mortgage. But even to do that, you're going to have to catch up their amount of mortgage, their amount of what they are in the rears, right? So I'm closing on one tomorrow where they were in the rears $14,000. Okay. And the payments are $938 a month. So at closing, I'm bringing closing costs plus the 14,000 to the closing table, so that the loan now is that I'm taking over a loan now that's caught up. And then now I'll make the monthly payments of the 938.71. I remember those numbers because I just looked at it earlier. So that's something you could do. Strangely enough, I was going to keep that house, but I actually decided to wholesale my subject to contract to an investor that owns all the houses in the neighborhood. Because I put the deal together. He's going to give me 10 grand. I'm good with that. You know, it's in Wisconsin. I'm in Georgia. I'd much rather not deal with keeping up with that property if I don't have to. But once I take, and then your next question, Paulette, should be, well, how do you make money when you do that? Right? Paulette, you are not in second position. The lien holder, the bank is in first lien position. You go on title, they stay on the mortgage. Okay. Now, how you make money is, number one, you either rent it out. Sometimes people buy property subject to actually live in them themselves, which is a beautiful thing. Or you turn around and sell it lease with the option to buy or lease to own. And that's my favorite, because you get them to put 10% down. You raise the payment from $938 a month to, let's say, $1,600 a month, and you raise the back end sales price. So you actually make more money doing that over a term of 5 to 10 years than you ever would on a flip. And I know I went through that very, very quickly. There's a lot more to it, but I hope that answered your question. What's up, Donald? How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. So my question is, so I'm almost up to my monthly quota of 1,000 leads. But my question is, how many credits should I get to like skip trace?
Well, if you want to skip trace them all, it's a third of it. How many leads do you got?
I've about 965. I'm trying to look for a few more so I can get to my monthly.
Are you okay? So you really like these leads and you're paying for these leads, right?
I'm looking for like pre-foreclosures, some vacants, pre-foreclosures with the filters that you told me last week.
Okay. All right. Let me go here. So you're going to go to your name up here and go to my account, to payment methods and credits. Okay. You're going to go buy credits. So the more you buy, so essentially one third of a credit's around 33 cents. Okay.
Okay.
But this is only going to get you 10. Right? The more you buy, the more you save.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you've got, let's say, 1, 2, 3. So for $70, you're going to get around maybe 320 skip traces
Okay.
because it's a third of a credit, and each skip trace costs a third of a credit, but you get 100 credits for $70.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I wished I remembered algebra from school.
That's what's
or I'd write you a formula, but I don't know, for whatever reason that went right on out of my head.
in
as
terms
soon as
of,
I
and
left.
also with foreclosures, I do 40%. I did the notice of default with no date. I did 40% equity, but valuation, I did 100,000 to 250,000. Is that usually?
You're in Boston, Massachusetts, right?
Yeah.
See, I remember you. So Boston, Mass. Notice of default, no auction date. Make sure you're picking single family home, townhomes, duplex, triplex, quads,
I usually
And-
skip townhouses for some reason.
and row houses.
Really?
Well, there is none.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't look like, but like a
You know,
lot, like in Pennsylvania, there's lots of them.
I don't know anything about row houses or townhouses. I usually just do single family.
A townhouse is like a single family home. It's just connected to other ones.
Oh,
I don't particularly like condos
yeah.
because of condos associations and things like that. It can be lucrative in Florida, but I'd stay away from condos personally.
Okay.
That's your own decision. Townhouses are easy though. They're the same as a regular house.
Okay.
A duplex is 2 units in one building. A triplex is 3 units in one building. A quad is 4 units in one building. Even though these are technically multifamily, for me, those are still in the single family world.
Yeah, definitely.
So then I'm going to go to my equity filter of at least 40% or more. And valuation, you said what, 650?
I said, I remember you saying 100,000 to 250.
So 100,000, 1, 2, 3, to 250,000.
Oh,
Well, 2 in Boston, Massachusetts, there's not many houses worth 100,000, right?
yeah.
I'd probably go to 600.
Okay.
You got 148 there.
Okay.
So valuation is what the property's worth, guys, and this number is different for everybody, right? A $600,000 house in where I live in Dahlonega, Georgia is really nice house, right? A $600,000 house in Boston, Massachusetts, or out there in Rhode Island is nothing. Which I kind of like that about where I live. You can get a big old house for like hardly no money.
Yeah. So 100 credits the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, and then you can roll them over and use them for anything else too.
Okay.
And you get instant skip tracing, which is nice.
And so 100 credits is a great start.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. What other questions we got, guys? Anything about the DealDriven software, what you can do with the software, how you got any questions about real estate? I hope I can answer them. You'll just have to raise your Zoom hand. Anybody else going once?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, go. Hey, what's up, Lynn?
Some legal questions. For how long should be contract with the seller?
Do what?
For how long should be contract with the seller?
What are you looking to do?
Well, just wholesale it.
Just wholesale it. So generally what I would do if I'm wholesaling is I would have a contract that's assignable. I'd give
Right.
myself 30-day inspection days
Yeah.
and a 45-day close.
What if you're not gonna make it in that days?
Well,
So,
technically, you've got to do something in those 30 days, inspection days.
no, I mean, if not sellable for that 20 days, are you responsible for it or
You
how it
technically are
works?
responsible for it. So before that 30 days is over, you'd want to send a letter of a termination letter.
Mhm. But what kind of responsibilities then?
Well, if you have the right contract, probably none, but most contracts, you could have a judgment put on you because you did not uphold your contractual agreement.
Mhm.
But let's
All
talk
right.
about this for a minute, though. I would like to talk about this for a minute. It's not even the contract. If you put it under contract and you're not getting any action for 30 days, okay,
Right.
that means it's priced too high.
Mhm.
So before that 30 days, I'd go back and try to renegotiate it to a lower price, number one.
Right.
Because you all obviously got it under contract too high. That's why nobody wants it. You also don't want to take a seller 30 days down the road and you know you ain't going to sell it and bring them through an emotional journey. You should either call and kill the deal or renegotiate the deal before that 30 days.
Mhm. Okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you don't want to be known as the dude that just puts things under contracts and takes through emotional journeys if at all possible. But sometimes stuff happens. You might have
Mhm.
found a buyer and they back out on you at 30 days, which ain't your
Yeah,
fault,
that's
but it
exactly
happens.
that's what I'm asking. If I couldn't find a buyer for that time of the contract, so probably got some kind of responsibilities on that.
You do.
Mhm. Okay.
Just if you're going to leave a deal, make sure you're doing it inside the inspection period.
Right. Okay.
Also, if you're putting earnest money up for your deals,
Well, the earnest monies can be $500, and if you lose it, it's not such a big deal.
well, it is $500 adds up, but
It does, yes.
if you go outside your inspection period, you lose that $500.
Right.
So I'm not going to lose my money regardless. It's either going to work or it ain't going to work. I'll know that in 30 days.
Mm. Okay.
And mostly, Lynn, that was to tell everybody about earnest money and when you can get it and get it back and when not to.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I always love these people that give people $10 earnest monies. Whoever in the world teaches that on the internet, like I could kick them in the shin. Like that is such the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Right.
I know they do it, but it's like, I'd rather you not give me earnest money than give me $10. That's a joke. All right, let's see. Matthew,
Oh, good afternoon.
good
I,
afternoon.
yeah, I'm looking at two properties, but
Okay.
one I just want to see how much the property is worth. The address is 933 Main Street in Derby, Pennsylvania, Derby, PA 19023.
Okay. You got a triplex here.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were asking 175. I know, and he need a lot of work. It needs some work. I mean, I've not seen it. I'm going there probably tomorrow to look at it.
Okay. All right. Well, there's a lot of things with this one. So he wants 175.
175. I know it's just asking price, but
No, it's 2, 4, 5. So there's 3 units. Is it a 2-in-1, a 2-in-1, and a 1-in-1?
there's a store downstairs. I mean, there's a office or store downstairs. There are 2 bedroom, two bedrooms upstairs.
Okay, so both of those are 2-in-1s. Hey,
Yeah.
I gotta see it. Let me just a second. Just so everybody, can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay, so we got a little store. We
Yeah,
got
this
a
store.
2-in-1 and a 2-in-1.
Mm-hmm.
What are you wanting to do with this house?
I was trying to see whether I can buy it and then renovate it and then probably keep it. So
Are there any tenants in
fix
this
it.
property?
No, it's vacant
It's
now.
vacant. Okay. Is this in a good area?
It's not a bad area.
I mean, how
It's
are you gonna be able, is somebody gonna actually want to rent that bottom unit, you think, or?
the store. I have some doubt because there's no close parking place to that place. So I told the owner that way that it's going to be very difficult to convert that to a store because or even an office because you cannot park on the streets in front of the property.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. So for me, I would be looking at rental rates of every unit. Okay, because you got to be
Okay.
looking who your buyer is, and that's a long-term buy and hold, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Because I think 75 is too high, but heck, I'll go down the journey with you. This is how I would figure it out. Okay, so knowing that he's looking to flip a house that is flip a triplex, that the back end buyer is going to be a landlord. You're not wanting to be the landlord. You're wanting to flip it to make money, correct?
Yeah. Mhm.
I want you to go to this website, rentometer.com.
Okay.
Okay. Oh man, I lost my house. Oh, sorry, I messed up. What's the address again?
933 Main Street, Darby, Pennsylvania.
Okay. I'm going to go to Rentometer and go to 933
Okay.
Main Street, Darby, Pennsylvania. Then I'm going to go for bedrooms and I'm going to go 2-in-1. Okay. And the
Okay.
reason I want to go a 2-in-1 is because you're going to be renting out one unit, then they're going to be renting out the back unit. The way to figure out a price of property is to know what the back end buyer wants. Okay.
Okay.
Let's analyze it. I just want, I'm curious what type of rent. Okay. All right. So the median rent for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath in Darby, Pennsylvania on a unit that it looks like it could be fixed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is you're looking at about $1,280 a month in rent
For each unit,
for
right?
each unit. Yep. So
Okay.
the problem is the store. Like if all 3 of those was converted into single family homes, it'd be more desirable actually.
Yeah.
But now if that commercial property is worth something, then it's a different story, but there's nothing set up to be commercial. There's also not walk parking, so that I don't see any stores around that place.
Yeah, there's a pharmacy. First of all, there's a major transportation center there where people connect from Philadelphia to other parts of we call the area Delaware County.
Yeah.
It's
And then I'll tell you, commercial's not my world anyway.
yeah, there's also a pharmacy store very near the
Before I bought it, I would connect with a commercial real estate broker and
okay.
see what would you need to do to that property to get it ready for a tenant. a commercial
Okay.
tenant. Because you're not gonna want to
Okay.
build out the whole suite for a commercial building. And what could you get in rent for? Because you know you can get 1280 on the front and the top. That right there is, 3,000. So technically somebody could pay, once you fixing it up, close to 300,000, but it based off of cash flow. But I don't know the commercial building. But I know
Okay.
one good thing, I would call a commercial broker before I ever bought a commercial building.
Okay. To ask for the opinion of how much the properties rent for? Is that what you say?
Huh?
Why do you want to call the commercial building property
Because I
again?
don't know what to do in that commercial bottom unit. I'm not a commercial investor.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I
But
don't know. Do you stub it out for a store? Do you stub it out for this? I just don't know. I understand houses and rentals, but I don't know what you do with that bottom unit.
okay. Yeah, I'm about to see the property tomorrow. I don't know. I was wondering, I thought 175 is too high, so okay. So do I just ask
I just don't think you have enough information to make a buying decision on that, is all I'm saying. And I don't
okay,
want you to buy it and then like say, oh, well, she told me to buy it. I don't know what that commercial unit's worth.
yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah.
In that
I
way,
mean,
do
if it
you
was
use,
3 2 and 1s, it'd be easy because you could see what the rents are. But commercial is like, woo, way on the other side of the world.
on the side? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, okay. All right, thank you. Quickly, the other property I was looking at that surprised me is that it's 1025 Center Street
Hold
in
on just a
Derby.
second. $1035.
1025 Center Street. There's Derby. But when you look at that thing, I check it on DealDriven, it changes to 1025 Ridge, right? Oh, it's showing up. How come it's not showing up my mask? Is
I
this
don't know.
1025? Oh, I'm surprised.
1025.
Yeah, how come I couldn't get it on the,
I don't know.
I tried so many times, it changes to Ridge Avenue. Ridge
Okay.
Avenue, maybe I have to try it again. I don't know. I wanted to contact the owner because it looked like property needs somebody. I'm looking for whether I can contact the buyer. I mean the owner.
So you would go here and then you'd pay for a skip trace.
Okay.
I'm going to do it for free. I mean, I'll do it with my credits right now, but let's see if you get one. You got your phone out?
My phone?
If you want, you could take a picture of my screen. It'll save you 33
Oh
cents.
yeah, let me quickly take that. Okay.
Or spend 33 cents, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you see the problem, I couldn't get it up for some reason. I couldn't get it on my DealDriven. It changes to let me see. I hope I know how to use the phone. Okay, here. Okay, here we go. No, that's not it. Oh, you know what I can you stay there? I know what I will do. The easiest way.
I don't know. Just go to 1025 Center Street and just skip trace it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Last question. What's up, Donald?
Are you?
Good, how are you?
Are you looking for Donald or Donnell?
Donnell, sorry.
Hey, okay. Just quick question. Okay, once I skip trace and I get the numbers and everything, is it a way that I can download it to upload it into what they call voice shot?
Yep,
CVR or CV,
CRM.
something like that.
Yeah, you're just trying to get your list into a CRM. Usually you do that through a CSV file.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to go to your list.
Uh-huh.
And then go to one of your lists. Let's see. We want to select all actions, export.
There it is.
Yep.
Export.
Export. Yep. And then you can name it whatever you want. You have 5,000 whatever properties to export and say my list. And then that. Now, what I would do, it'll email you when your export is ready. If you don't receive it, then check your spam folder. But I would, like, if you're trying to tag inside your CR, are you trying to put this into a call software?
Right. So I'm doing a voice blast, right? So like 100 of them at a time, but they
Gotcha.
want to either be in a CR, like what you just said, or in a PDF or something like that.
No, you want a CSV, so you can upload it to that call. I will say though, you'll want to separate your list because you might leave a different message for a pre-foreclosure than you
Yes.
would a tax delinquent, than you would
Right.
a other kind. So I
Yeah.
would export them separately, and when you place them into your dialing software,
Yeah.
name them so you know what they are.
Right. Right. That's good. That's all I needed. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Well, all right, guys, thank you so much for being a part of DealDriven. We appreciate your business. We love to have you on these calls. Bring your questions, bring your comments. We love them. And most of all, we appreciate your business. Have a wonderful Thursday. Bye-bye.